Hi, hey, and all those other greetings, Spade Adventurers. I'm Shakespins, welcoming you guys back to my gaming and unboxing channel, where today we are jumping back into part 2. Yes, this is a part 2 video of the Jakks Pacific Sonic line plush. If you guys want to see the Sonic and Tails unboxing, make sure to go and jump to part 1. I'll probably be showing them at the end of this, but I won't actually be talking about my opinions on them because we'll be talking about the other two plush, comparing them, and probably comparing all of them. Now, you might be like, Spins, why are you doing a two-parter instead of a one-parter? Well, I've already done a video that has been 40 minutes before, and that was exhausting. Granted, you guys aren't going to see that, and, well, you guys are going to see that, but then this is 20 and 20. It's just a lot more digestible for you guys, and even though I'm still commentating and my throat's killing me, I'm still going. I'm Trooper. I want to see these plush because I'm excited. But yeah, no other intro stuff. We're just going to jump back in. So again, if you want to see those other two plush in detail and all my reactions, make sure to go check that out. So, as you have Sonic and Tails, you also have the trio of Knuckles. So far, liking the plush, and honestly, I didn't know what to expect for Knuckles, but he actually turned out pretty nice. This actually works very, very well for his design, this whole entire flat look. So let's look more into him. So, looking at this, I could say the eyes, if anything, probably could go a little bit bigger, but that's kind of a small nitpick and it doesn't really take away from anything. They did return to the nice sideways smile right here. The nice Knuckles, classic Knuckles smirk right on his face because he don't chuckle. He don't chuckle. But, looking more at this, interestingly enough, his nose is bigger than Sonic's. Now, this is only weird because out of Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, Knuckles actually has the smallest nose. So the fact that he actually has the biggest, or what would presume to be the biggest, just because of the perspective, is kind of funny to me. Alright, but looking more at this, I do want to go to the back to see how they did this. Now, the back of the plush is not good. It's not bad, but it's not very good. I feel like the flat part for Knuckles looks amazing for the front, but the back, not so much, because you can see these spikes kind of look a little hindered. They look a little bit too dangled and disconnected. I don't know exactly how to say it, but because it's not really that 3D, like it's 3D, but it's flat 3D, it doesn't have the dimension that it's supposed to, so it just comes off looking a little weird, whereas Tails, it didn't really matter, and then for Sonic, it was just kind of a cool touch. Knuckles, it's just a strange one. Also, going to his tail, yeah, this is a weird choice. I mean, they have the pattern, but it's so small, it's so hard to see because it's more of like a curve and a hook than it actually is a zigzaggy pattern, which definitely looks weird to me. Alright, going back to the front, you do have his crescent, which I find interesting because they actually have a little sew stitch pattern that you can see. It's not that bad, but it does look pretty decent. And something else that I noticed is that Knuckles has a bit of a gut. He stopped at Burger King before he came here, and he had a frickin' Whopper on a Whopper. He was hungry. You know, treasure hunting, that is not a thing you can do while hungry. You need that food, so. And you get a lot of money from treasure hunting, so Why not go spending at Burger King, apparently, which is sponsoring that. No, I'm kidding. It's not. I just had to make it sound less random and ridiculous. But anyway, going to his arms and his knuckles, his arms are very well stuffed. First for this Plush set, which is interesting. His fists are well closed, but probably a little too small, which is a little weird. And a weird choice to me is the fact that his knuckle spikes, which because he's so small, this is probably why, but those are actually just felt triangles, which are actually a little bit sharp. But that feels like kind of a weird choice. It doesn't look bad. It just seems slightly strange, is all. But it's fair. And then the last part that we need to look at is this guy's shoes. So he does have the bottom gray soles, which Knuckles is actually the first to ever have a different color sole on his shoe, I believe, because Tails is... well, actually, I just realized for Tails, they didn't do the red part on the bottom. They did full white for his soles. So that's interesting. But anyway, going back to Knuckles, he's one of the first to have a very specific and also gray bottom of the shoe. So that's when they started doing that. Going to it, though, you do have that accuracy of the red and the yellow as well as the green sock. But the little Lego piece on his shoe, it also has that sewn-in look for the crescent. Which the crescent it looked fine with. Honestly, it looks a little bit weird for the shoe, but it's hardly noticeable and it's a nitpick. However, something that I feel is a little more strange is the fact that the shoes aren't 3D, but probably for quality control, because they would be small pieces that could very easily come off, and they're mass producing them, so it would be a lot more extra money. At the same time, though, you still put the little spike nublets on his fist, which I'm glad they did, but it just seems like an interesting choice, because those can also fall off. And something I've also noticed for that is I think they are a little too far apart. It's okay for this plush just because of how small he is and how cartoony he is, but it goes to like his thumb, and it is definitely not supposed to go to his thumb. I'm telling you that right now. But anyway, though, that's Team Sonic. But of course, with any classic line, you're always gonna have a fourth. At least you should for a classic line. Not all of them have, because Jazzwares actually didn't. But the last one is the big bad Dr. Robotnik. And don't say it's Dr. Eggman because it's classic. And I don't care what Sonic Generation set up. He's still Dr. Robotnik to me because that's the only thing that really differentiates them name-wise. And I feel like we shouldn't tamper with that. So, sorry, Izuka. I'm going with my own thoughts and feelings. But anyway, though, let's get this round ball out of the bag, which might be harder said than done. Come on, come on. I want to play volleyball. Come on. Come on. Oh, he's sliding. There we go. Sorry, I didn't want to tug on his little cape because I didn't want to rip him. And oh my god, he looks ridiculous but amazing. This is beautiful. Oh my god, guys. This is probably like the best Robotnik plush ever. I mean, I love the GE one, but just for the sheer fact of how ridiculous and almost like the ridiculousness of this makes it so cute and so charming that it's fantastic. Alright, so let's take a good look at Dr. Robotnik. So, interestingly enough, they actually gave him a very round egg shape. Instead of making his head more of a head shape, they just put it in with the circle. They were like, you know what? You're gonna call him Eggman. We make him an egg. You want an omelet? Too bad, because even though he looks like an egg, he will destroy you with his egg mobile. Boom. But the cool thing is, they actually did very well with the details. So looking at him, his eyes do look very, very nice, and his little Rudolph the Red Evil Reindeer's nose is a very, very nice touch. You've also got his very gritted teeth, which are a very smart and very good looking texture. However, one thing that I find strange is that this mustache is a harder felt and it looks like it's glued onto the plush. I'm guessing to avoid kids from just kind of tearing at it and actually ripping it off, which is something that I know from experience can definitely happen, which we've talked about in the GE one and other Robotnik plush. But going on, you've got his yellow cape, which is actually a different felt from the mustache. It is a much more softer felt, which the cape actually extends to the back. And even though I do prefer that it would be longer, this is actually extremely accurate to the actual character, as the cape on the back is super short. Why he has a cape, I honestly don't know, but he does have a cape. The red part of his outfit is actually the regular soft fabric, which this part's cool because the black pants part is actually that rougher, more gritty Sonic Eye type of fabric, which makes for a really nice contrast and actually looks very, very cool. The little buttons, I would have expected to actually be more of a the same material as the shoes, like the vinyl material, but it's actually that same eye texture, just a little bit more sharper because you have a ring around, which actually looks pretty decent. His legs are actually pretty well stuffed as well, and his feet are well stuffed. A nice cool detail is that they made his legs a lot longer than all of the other characters, because one thing Robotnik is known for is his legs. Because he's tall. And how they support him, I don't know. I'm a little concerned for him. But it doesn't matter because Eggman, he worked it out. So, yeah, the only other thing to mention is the arms, which, honestly, they could have made way longer, and these are horribly stuffed. So we only have one plush out of this line with actually well-stuffed arms, which is kind of a shame. But yeah, because of the legs, these definitely could have been a little longer, and it wouldn't have been too much of a problem. But I guess they didn't want it jutting out too far from his torso, because it would be a little harder to keep in a set place. And of course, you do have his fists, which are closed. Interestingly enough, though, the tag does read Eggman, which, again, I am not a fan of, just because, to me, this is not Eggman, this is Robotnik. So anyway, that is going to be it for all the GX-specific plush. Again, if you missed part 1, definitely check that out to see my opinion on them. So, there's Knuckles, and there is Dr. Robotnik, which the color of red is actually different, which is a very good detail, because they could have just taken the red fabric from Knuckles and put it on Robotnik, and I believe it's actually a different consistency of like how it feels. So that's pretty cool. And then, yes, I will show Tails and Sonic as well. So let's try to show all of them together if can. Easier said than done. Especially when I want them in order. But yeah, here they are, guys, the Jakks Pacific plush. They all are pretty unique. They, considering what Sonic plush usually decide to do, and they are pretty cool plush. And Eggman died. Like in Sonic Lost World. Little too early, buddy. Little too early. But, they're cute, they're quirky, and it's a good idea for a style of plush, but it's not my favorite. Well, again, I do think that Sonic, it looks really cute on him, and I feel like Robotnik, it's a really nice touch for him as well. There's a lot of things that I see as flaws in this type of concept, such as there being no stuffing in most of the arms, and it just looks a little weird. But I feel like characters like Mighty, it will suit very well, and Amy, it will also suit very well. So Supersonic probably will fit very well as well. So Wave 2, who knows? And maybe they'll learn a thing or two from doing Wave 1. You never know. Sometimes these companies actually go back and revise things from Wave 1. If they do, probably won't get them, but hey, it's me we're talking about, so you never actually know. But anyway, though, guys, if you enjoyed this video of Knuckles and Robotnik, hit that like button, share this out with everyone known love, brother, mother, sister, father, iguana, and think about it, we kind of put it in a little category of the original heroes versus the original villains, because Knuckles actually started out as a villain / rival, but he was tricked, even though he's a good guy, so... But you guys get my point. Anyway, though, guys, that's it for this video. So, I'll see you guys later. And we'll punch with the tiniest little one punch ever. And Eggman. Ha. I did the meme wrong, because it's not and Eggman. It's and Knuckles. I know this is super derpy, but I don't care. Keep your toes safe.